Hello, everybody, and welcome back to One More Day. Now, once again, we've got Addi here, and she's so happy to be here. She's bright-eyed and filled with energy and optimism.
We both are.
Yep.
What you talking about?
I don't know. What are you talking about? What are either of us talking? What are we both talking about? I guess is the real question. Do you want to give our topic since you came up with it?
No, I picked it. You say it. Remember? You're the one that started that.
I don't remember that. That seems like fake news. But today we're going to talk about childhoods, which I thought we had talked about, but maybe not, and how ours differ from children now. So I want to hear a little bit about your childhood, because yours, being the oldest, is probably going to be very different than mine.
Oh, sorry. I feel like something's stuck in my throat. I can point out so many ways that our childhoods were different.
Let's do this. Let's have you tell us about your childhood as a whole, and then we'll point out different things, or how they're different compared to today's.
Okie dokie. Let's see. I was born on an August evening. Just kidding.
I thought you were born in the morning.
Nope. 7:48 p.m. August 13th, 1999.
So
I was
that's
born,
why they call it the witching hour.
I was born on Friday the 13th. So my birthday falls on Friday the 13th every once in a while.
That adds up. I remember, sorry, quick tangent. I remember one time I was in intermediate school, and this kid was saying something about Friday the 13th and how all the babies born on it are like cursed or something. And my little brother's birthday is on the 13th. And I got so pissed off. I yelled at him.
That's funny.
My side tangent.
But I wasn't old enough to remember this, but I think it was the first, 3 years of my life. I actually lived in a movie theater. If you go to my hometown, there's a rundown movie theater, and there's a house connected to it. And I lived there.
I still think it'd be cool to get that back up and going.
I know, but it's...
I bet we could probably get decent business.
It's... The building's not...
I know.
Salvageable. It's bad. But... My earliest memories are when we lived in a little rental house over by the Stake Center Tabernacle in Garland. And I grew up a fireman's daughter. So when parades came around, I didn't watch the parades. I was in the parades on the fire truck. So if you watch parades now, and there's always like kids in the fire trucks throwing out the candy and stuff, that was me.
You were
I was
all
also
those kids?
No, I did that. So I was also at the fire station a lot. They had a room upstairs that the firefighters could book for like family parties. I rode in all of the different fire trucks that the Garland Fire Department has. I also grew up... Actually, you actually can relate to this too, because your guys' fire department is a first responder as well. But I grew up hearing the firefighter siren, like 2 blocks away from my house. And it was loud. But they had to make it loud because the town was small. So they wanted to make sure that everyone on the fire department could hear it from their homes. So when they heard it, they could just get up and go. They didn't have to be, like, dispatched
Sherlock
out.
Holmes, right?
No. They didn't have to be dispatched out or anything like that. But either way, that was life as a firefighter's kids was fun. We had to help out with a lot of their fundraisers and stuff. But another big difference we had is my closeness to my cousins and extended family. I was at my Nana's like, I don't know, at least 3 out of 5 days of the week, but I meant those are like the main days. Maybe like 4 out of 7 days of the week I was over there at some point or another. We lived like less than a mile away from both of my grandparents, actually, both sides. We were over there all the time. I was with my cousins all the time. And, like, we were just super, super close. Not only with my extended family, but with my just immediate family as well that lived in my house.
Well, wouldn't your immediate family have lived in your house?
Yeah, I said that. I said the immediate family that lived in my house.
Oh.
But another difference between our childhood I thought of was, I guess, the freedom of play when it came to outdoors. Like, technically you lived on a big street, but it wasn't a busy street.
I lived on, like, the only street.
But you guys also had a huge front yard, so your parents didn't have to worry about, like, the road a whole lot. But, like, we could play outside a lot, but, like, we had to stay on our little block because it was a small town, but we lived pretty in the center of it, so it was pretty busy where we were because, like, we lived a block away from, like, the main stop sign, 4-way stop, where the post office was and the gas station and the fire department and a bar. So we had to be really careful.
Just on that one 4-way stop. Everything you need on that one 4-way stop.
Right. Well, I guess within a block of it.
Yeah.
But we had a lot of night games. Those are some of my best memories. And I figured you would bring that up too. Like, just night games were just a blast. I loved it when my cousins came over. They lived in Logan, but they came over quite often. And we would play with them. I was super close with them. And we would play night games. And I did not play with dolls as a kid. I did not play with baby dolls, Barbies, nothing like that. I played with Littlest Pet Shops, My Little Ponies. I guess I did play with Strawberry Shortcakes, which are dolls, but I didn't own any. My cousins are the ones that owned them, so I played with them at their house. But we played more, like, our pretend play with animals kind of stuff. But, like, they don't even sell that stuff anymore. Like, the My Little Ponies I played with are not the ones that were in the stores right now.
I know, because you watched the My Little Pony TV shows and movies like just a month ago.
I can do what I want.
I didn't
and then, like, when it comes to Littlest Pet Shops, they're not in stores anywhere, ever. And I remember, as a kid, going to Walmart and going down, like, the girls' toy aisle. Like, Littlest Pet Shops and My Little Ponies filled an entire aisle on one side. Like, it wasn't both sides, because then the other side had, like, Barbies and Baby Alives and stuff like that. But, like, it was, like, magical to go down the girls' toy aisle at Walmart as a kid. Like, it was the best. But
So your childhood consisted of firefighting,
no,
night games,
no,
and My Little Pony.
What? No, that's what you got from all of that?
Yes.
But I also wanted to touch on, because we're also trying to point out how it's different.
Sorry, go on.
How it's different from, like, childhoods today. As a kid, I guess this differs a little bit from yours too. We didn't really have video games in our house, like, hardly at all. We had a GameCube that had maybe 8 games total on it, We didn't play it a whole ton. And then, obviously, we watched cartoons and television, but nowhere near to the extent of what kids do today.
Yeah.
Like, I was outside or playing with my little pet shops most of the times. Like, I was not just in on the TV playing video games all day. Even into, like, older childhood or, like, teenage years, Connor was the one that introduced me into video games. Before that, all I had played was, like, Mario and Zelda and, like, the Wii games. I didn't play, like, hardcore games at all.
Hey, the Wii's pretty cool.
Also, something I realized the other day that I kind of find sad, but I've kind of just struggled with my whole life, is a sense of, like, musical taste. Like, when someone says, what kind of music do you listen to? In my mind, I'm like, whatever my husband listens to. Like, even as a kid, I didn't just go listen to, like, my own kind of music. I was a person that listened to the music that the other person was listening to, or kind of hopped on the bandwagon kind of thing. My mom would get us, like, Kids Bop CDs, and I had one of those, like, I don't know, I was maybe 8. It wasn't it was like a portable CD player that you could plug in headphones and walk it around, but it was like, I don't know, maybe an inch wider than a CD, and they were kind of bulky, but, like, I had one of those.
Those were what the cool kids had.
It was,
I
and I had
one in elementary school.
many Kids Bop CDs.
I had one CD.
But I kind of just listened to those because, I mean, they were good. Like, I like most all music. Not a huge fan of rap, but it honestly depends on what kind of rap. Like, I've realized that there's a few songs that
gift
have...
rap.
There's a few songs that have rap sections that I'm like, oh, this isn't that bad. But, like, fully rap songs, I cannot handle. So there's not very much music that I don't like. I kind of just listen to what is on. And I love listening to your music. I sing along to it. But, like, I try to go make my own playlists. And I'm like, who am I? What do I like? What is music?
That's rough. That's rough.
I've tangented. Blah, blah, blah. I've gone on a tangent for a minute. It's your turn.
I liked your tangent.
I could keep going, but I want you to have a chance to talk.
I mean,
too.
you can keep going.
I'll keep going as I like.
I plan on just taking the second half. You're good. You just keep on scooting on if you have more stuff.
Well, okay, but you said after. No, you said after, like, I've kind of gone over my childhood, we were going to maybe try to compare it to, like, maybe how Toby's is going to be different. One thing...
There will be no society.
Yeah,
Gender's
sure.
no longer a thing. You can be whatever you want.
Something very different from our childhoods is we are not in a small city. We're not in small towns right now. And we might be in the future.
Still feels like a small town.
But I know, but... the environment and culture of it is not the same. You don't know every single person in your neighborhood and, like, know their life story, and your family isn't a block away, and you aren't related to half the people in the town, and they know your great-great-grandparents.
Yeah, I can't really relate to any of that.
Well, that's how my small town, like... if I told anyone that I was related to an Ogle, they would be like, oh, yeah, I know your grandma. And I'd be like, actually, that's my great-grandma. And then they'd be like, oh, my gosh, I loved her. Like, she was super well-known in the community, and so is my my mom's parents are super well-known in the community. Like, we were very involved in the community, and honestly, it wasn't that bad as a kid, but... when you get older, you realize that it's a little full of drama. But, I mean, like, I just feel like here in Pocatello, you just aren't that close with people.
I mean, you probably are if you've lived here for
I know,
10,
but
20 years.
Just the like culture of it is all a little bit different. And like one of the big things that's different, and honestly it's not just because we live in a big city, it's just because of how the world has changed. Like I don't even know if I would trust our kids to do this even in Garland, because when I started getting older, Garland wasn't the safest place. Like there was thieves running around everywhere and things were getting broken into like crazy. But like playing outside and like staying out really late unsupervised is not really a thing that kids are able to do anymore, because you're always afraid that someone's just gonna come up and snatch them.
And I think that's part of the reason that you start seeing kids, or even like preteens nowadays, have a misguided sense of, what am I trying to say here? Not individuality, but like you can do stuff for yourself. What is that word?
Independence.
Independent.
Yeah.
They just are actually fully dependent. They pretend to be independent until something actually happens, and they're like,
and
Mom.
well, I really want our kids to be able to be, I mean, independent. Like I never even touched on this. I was the oldest kid, so like, I became independent really fast, especially when my dad started having surgeries when I was in high school. I was left alone with my siblings. We were at my grandma's house, but like she didn't know certain things that I saw every single day that my siblings did, because Vance was pretty little. So like there were certain things that, like, you know,
I remember.
Yeah. So I was just like, I took care of my siblings a lot. I started babysitting them at 12 at home. And my parents trusted me to watch them because I had to get that sense of independence really fast. But doing that and keeping honesty with my parents and all of that stuff, I was able to do a lot. Like, all of my grades were amazing all through high school. So I would just call my mom and be like, Mom, I'm really not feeling like school today. Is it okay if I miss? And like one of the examples was, I think we had kind of gotten into a fight or something and kind of broken up a little bit. So I called her and I was like, I'm just really not feeling it today. Can I go to Ogden with my friend? She was like, okay, yeah. And we went to Ogden for the day because my grades were fine and she trusted me to get caught up on them. I didn't miss a ton of high school, but whenever I wanted to, my mom trusted that I would keep my grades where they needed to be. And
see, and I did that, but I got in trouble for missing.
But like, I want our kids to be able to be independent. Mm-hmm. That's why I try to let Toby like come and help me clean up. Like, he helps me do dishes, and he loves like throwing things away and like putting things away, like, depending on the mood. Down. Yeah, loves wiping things down. He goes in and grabs pieces of toilet paper and like wipes his mouth, and then like pulls his shirt up and wipes his belly. I'm like, you're so darn cute.
He's a really good kid.
But things are a little different on how you have to approach the independency in kids. You have to teach them safety at the same time.
And I think that was prevalent even back when we were...
I know, but I mean, like, I got lost in Walmart once. I just went and found someone and was like, hey, I lost my mom, and they announced it over the intercom. And, I mean, my mom was freaking out, but probably not as much as I would today, because you don't know who's at Walmart and who will just take your kid if they are alone. And, like, if you're at Walmart as a mom and you have a kid with you, and, I mean, you look trustworthy, and you see a kid alone, lost, you hesitate to go help the kid because you're afraid that when the mom finds the kid, they thought that you kidnapped them. Like, no one trusts anyone, so it's hard to teach your kids to trust anyone.
Yeah, and that's the
So whenever I see a kid lost, I follow at a distance to make sure nobody else takes them, but I also don't want to freak out the parents that I'm trying to pick up the kid, because, like, it's just... the world today.
Yeah, no, I get that.
But I want to make sure that our kids know that they can come to us, but we're not going to do everything for them. And I don't know what the future has in store with us, with our kids, and where we're going to live, and homeschooling and all of that stuff. But I guess we'll just tackle it as it comes.
Well, we had thought about and talked about moving somewhere closer to some of his cousins and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I lived far away from my cousins. I'd go and see them a couple times a year. And we were close, but we weren't as tight as you and your cousins.
Yeah.
And where he doesn't have any siblings right now, and even when he first gets one, he's not going to really be able to play with them. I really want to get him someone to play with, friends.
Yeah. And I have tried to make friends here in Pocatello, and honestly, I've reached out to certain moms every once in a while being like, hey, do we want to schedule a play date? And no one ever gets back to me, and it's probably still partially my fault because I still have really bad social anxiety. Like, I have gotten better now that I'm adult and matured a little bit in that that area, but it's still really hard to approach someone for me. Like, I don't like starting conversations or approaching someone and asking for something or start, like, saying even hi. Like, even people, like, at my Relief Society event that I went to, I was sitting alone at the table, and then someone came and sat next to me and started a conversation. And at that point, I was comfortable, and then eventually the whole table filled up because they were all friends with each other, and I was having a good conversation, but I didn't have the courage to go find a table that was already full. Not full, but like had people at it. Because I just, that social anxiety.
That's why you just need to make eye contact with them and don't stop staring until they say something to you.
I don't, that's
Boom,
the thing is eye contact is also uncomfortable for me with strangers.
Is that why you don't
like even like walking past someone, like throughout the day, like our neighbors, and like they just say, hey, how you doing? I feel really awkward. And like when it comes to holidays and stuff, I hardly ever say Merry Christmas and stuff because I feel awkward doing it. Like my social anxiety gets the best of me. So unless someone says Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays to me first, I usually don't say it. And I tried to be better at that this year because I wanted to spread the cheer, but yeah.
Well, that sounds like fun.
Social anxiety is so fun.
See, and I'm a pretty solitary person, so like I don't really have like the urge to make friends or talk to people. So I'm content not doing it.
I don't have the need to make friends. I have the need to want Toby to have someone to play with.
I know.
That I will also feel comfortable hanging around with the mom or whatever. So.
And that makes sense.
But a little bit more on your childhood. I think it was your neighbors.
Oh. Well, I, unlike Addi, was not born. As my parents often told me, I was found under a rock.
That's not true.
They did tell me that.
Well, they may have told you that, but
true.
I've seen your birth certificate and you were born in Trevon.
My parents would never lie to me.
I don't know. I've met your dad.
He is a man of truth and honor. How dare you? But
I didn't say they were serious lies, but I could imagine, like his birthday.
Shut up.
Yeah, just messing with you about his birthday.
I just know it's the last day of April, and that's all I know. Okay, so my dad always told me it was on like the 31st of April, which apparently is only 30 days, or something like that. And so for my entire life, I thought it was the 31st, and then I realized that there's not a 31st. So, or is there? I don't know. So I just know it's the last day of April. So
because my mom's birthday is on March 31st,
well,
which
good
means
for your mom.
The month after.
Well, but see, December has 31.
31st.
December has 31 days. So does January.
Yeah, but that's the beginning and start of a year.
Or is it a circle? What is time? Time is just a fabrication of man to mark the moving of the sun.
We're talking about childhoods, not time.
Is there a difference? Okay. Sorry about that, you guys. We were going to split it and just come on back. We were going to talk about my childhood, but that will have to wait for next week, as Toby is now wide awake and is not letting go of Addi. and is not happy. So, thank you guys all so much for joining us. Sorry that we couldn't give you the full episode we wanted to give you, but maybe it'll just keep you scintillated until next week. But thank you all for joining us. And until then, have a great rest of your week.